So the problem I'm having now has to do with the fuel gauge. And so you can notice the needle is not resting where it's supposed to be. It should be resting on that post there, like this one here. But instead, what I noticed is that it looks like it went all the way around clockwise. And it's now when I put the key in the car, or when I start the car, it just does that. You know, it's always going to read empty because it won't let, the post won't let it go up. So I did a little research, and it looks like a fellow YouTuber had the same problem, and they suggested to get one of these, some type of strong magnet. I've never tried it before. Looks interesting. I'll see what happens here. I don't see any movement of the needle here. My guess is that this faceplate, this plastic plate, won't let me get close enough to the needle where I can move it. If this was closer, maybe that would be able to. So it looks like I'm gonna have to disassemble the whole cluster of gauges to take a look inside and try to do it by hand, because the magnet is not working. So I looked up some information, and there are 3 screws here, 1 on this side and 2 on this side, that you have to remove. Once you get those out, well, before you do that, make sure that if you have a telescoping steering column, that you pull it all the way out and then you lower it all the way down. Right. Once the screws are out also, then these 2 covers separate, and I found that the best way to do it is just kind of squeeze it and it'll just pop. I'm gonna put the phone down and try to do it by my 2 hands. And this is what I was talking about. Once it pops, then you can just continue prying it open, and this upper piece will come off, and that's all you really need to do. If you notice that both gauges are messed up, is because I already disassembled the whole thing. This is just recording it now so you guys can see it. But underneath here I have a flap, like a rubber flap. There are 2 screws back there that you have to remove that are underneath this cluster. Once you remove those 2 screws, you would have to remove 1 more, which is underneath this. So get yourself a prying tool, plastic prying tool, so you don't damage this, and then you just pry this off. There you can see there are 3 clips that are holding this down, and then you will find 1 screw, which I've already removed. I just wanted to show that if for some reason you're having trouble getting these 2 lower screws out, there's another alternative. Take this off. There are 2 screws that hold this in place. You're gonna have to remove this cover, and 1 screw is here and the other screw is right here. So once you get the screws off, you can pull this off, and this will give you more visibility, so you will be able to, you know, see behind the panel. And before you can pull it off, there is a wire harness. So this connector, you're gonna have to remove it, right, from here. So I looked at this, and I noticed that there are some clips all around this chrome finish. In order to get to the needle, I'm gonna have to remove the chrome finish, somehow get back there. So I'm gonna go ahead and carefully pry this front plate off, and voila. Once we've gotten access to this, we can just lift this plastic cover, move it out of the way, and there you have it. Essentially, you can just use your fingers and move it by hand. There you go. That's how that works. In case you're curious, as I am, about the magnet, I'm going to find out if the magnet will actually move the needle or not. Oh, there it goes. Okay, so it looks like you can use a magnet. The problem is with this Maxima is that this cover gets in the way and it's too far away. The strength of the magnet is not strong enough because of this plate. You know, in some videos that I saw, the needle is very close to this cover. Okay, now it's the moment of truth to see if this worked. I'll put the key in the ignition. Very cool. Take the key back out. Perfect.